What's up, guys? Today I'm going to teach you the Lapall spread. I actually just learned it today from a couple different YouTube videos and partly from Dan and Dave's The Trilogy, but I just felt like a lot of these sources didn't give a really detailed description of how to do it and some little things that might help you to make it better. If you don't know, the Lapall spread looks something like that. It's where you kind of shoot the cards from one hand to the other in the action of a spread. And you can even do it in like a fancier way, like Dan and Dave's S. Um, so I'll show you how to do it. Like I said, don't critique me too much. I just learned how to do this myself, but it's really not too hard of a move. Essentially, what most tutorials on YouTube are going to tell you is that you're going to be springing the cards just like you're doing this, but you're going to spring them this way, okay, off the hand. And I don't really think that that's a good way to put it because you're not really springing them. When you spring the cards, you have your fingers in a really close grip to the edge so that the cards fly off your fingers really hard. When you're doing the Lapall spread, and I was using these tutorials, I was trying to do the same thing, and I was getting a really sloppy spread like this because I was trying to spring the cards, and that's really not what you want to do. You don't want to spring them. They won't come off right. What you want to do is you want to get them in that spring grip, but you don't want your fingers to be near the edge like this. You actually want them a little bit deeper, okay, in a deeper grip. Not like this, but like this. And that's the first thing that's going to help you. So having the cards in like a mechanics grip, I use my pointer finger. Some people don't. But I'll put all four fingers on the side of the deck, and the other corner is going to be in your thumb crotch here. The thumb I leave off the side of the deck. And usually mechanics grip is about here. I like it a little bit deeper than mechanics grip. So in order to get into this motion here, you're going to bow the deck downwards slightly, okay? Just like that. It might take a little bit of work with a new deck. I'm using a pretty used deck, and I suggest doing that when you're trying to learn too, so you don't kill a new deck. Now, instead of springing the cards, because if you spring the cards, you're going to hear it and feel like it's choppy, like that. You can hear it. That's not what you want. You want it to be real smooth. So in order to do that, you're going to kind of, instead of spring, you're going to kind of roll the cards, okay? If you can see, once I get near the bottom here, I'm rolling the cards off. You're just pulling these fingers in against the palm. You're not springing them, which would be putting a lot of pressure. You're rolling them in like this, okay? Now, another very important piece of advice that none of the tutorials that I have seen give is the importance of your right thumb. As you're going to spread the pack from hand to hand, okay? Once you can kind of get this motion down, rolling your fingers, and it's really gentle too. Let me go back to the rolling for a second. It's very gentle. Like I said, if you do it hard, the cards are going to shoot and they're going to skip. But if you go really gentle, they're going to come out really nice, okay? You got to go real gentle. So your right thumb is going to apply a little bit of pressure in this general area here of the cards, okay? And it's going to add a little bit of a bow to the cards, but as you let go slightly, you're going to use this thumb to pull the cards out. But like I said, you're going to apply a little bit of pressure, and that little bit of downward force coming from the top is going to help the cards spread out more evenly as well. So not only are you going to be gentle as you shoot them, but being gentle is not enough. They'll still kind of skip, even if you're gentle. Okay? But once you add your thumb, that kind of regulates. That little bit of pressure that your thumb puts on will regulate how the cards come out. And that's another little tip that I don't think you'll find anywhere else. And I figured this stuff out on my own, these little tips, as I just started playing with it today. So as you let the cards go, you're going to bring your right hand over. Like I said, your thumb's going to be in this area here, and you're going to spread the cards out. You're going to spread them from hand to hand as you're real gentle in springing the cards out. The cards should just kind of follow your thumb. You want to go and kind of this motion, and like a horseshoe, just like you would do a regular hand-to-hand spread. Okay, it's a pretty knacky move. You really just have to practice it. But like I said, those tips that I gave you about being super, super gentle when you're letting the cards go, it's not so much of a spring, like I said, it's like a rolling action. And you can see if I was going to spring the cards, you'd have to do it hard. And it's not a hard move at all. You don't want to be fast. You just want to take your time, go nice and slow, and be very gentle. That's the key, is being super gentle. Now, as you get better, Dan and Dave have a version on the Trilogy that I'm sure most of you guys have seen, where they do like an S-curve, and it's essentially the same thing. You would just do a lapel spread, but then you would bring your right hand forward as you get farther in. And I'm not very good at that yet. Like I said, I just started doing lapel spread today. But I just want to give you guys some tips that'll help you learn it like I'm learning it. So, like I said, 2 things to remember is when you're bowling the deck, make sure you use your right thumb to regulate how the cards come out at first. And just be super gentle. And you should be able to get a pretty nice spread just about every time. It's a lot better than using a hand-to-hand spread when you have to keep thumbing cards over. I think that looks ugly. So if you do the lapel, that was bad. The card's got a bad bow in them. But if you do a lapel spread, it's going to look a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. This will mess your cards up a little bit though, because you're going to be bowling them like crazy. But I wouldn't suggest using a new deck. Use the old deck. And hopefully you learn it. If you guys have any questions or tips, or if it's not working for you, let me know and I'll do my best to help. Thanks.